Oh, cripes, it's that time again. It's that time at the beginning of the new month where I am going to show off some of my purchases for the last month. Unfortunately, I had a bit of a gargantuan, massive kaiju-sized Blu-ray and DVD and 4K purchase this month, so it's going to be a fairly large video. So large that I've actually had to divide it into two separate videos. So in this first video, I'm going to talk about just the stuff that I got from Arrow Video and the DVDs that I picked up this month. My name's JR. Welcome to Digital Retribution. Okie dokie. I hope you're all well. I'm going to wet my whistle with a little bit of... God, I've grabbed that like I've been sponsored. Gee, if you want to sponsor me, Hard Rated, you can just pay me in Hard Rated. So I'm going to start off with DVDs because the DVDs are the least amount of things that I got. So essentially, it's 3 grabbed from JB Hi-Fi and 2 that I wandered into some Vinnies and grabbed them from there. So first I've got Butchers. I've got Butchers 2 Raghorn and Butchers 3 Bonesaw. Now interestingly, I ordered all 3 of these at the same time. And can't hold them. Here we go, hang on. Left-hand Louis. Can he do it? No, anyway, so essentially I ordered these. I ordered 1 and 2 when 3 was on the new release thing. So I ordered these 2 when it was when 3, which is Bonesaw, when that was on the new release chart. So what essentially happened was is I thought, you know, these are sort of weird, out of nowhere, nothing direct to DVD sort of stuff. Where have these come from? High impact horror violence, high impact horror violence, high impact horror themes, and horror violence. They are things that I like in my horror. And if I had have seen this before I had bought these, I possibly would not have bought these. It's okay. It's like, I don't know, I just felt like it was missing something. And I don't quite know what it was. It certainly had unlikable cast. It felt like Mother's Day with no mother. And it had that sort of level of violence in it. So, you know, I'll give the other 2 a shot. Maybe upon a second watch, they will improve. Fingers crossed. If it doesn't matter. I think there was like you buy 2 get 1 free deal or something like that, or they were discounted to $12.98 or 20% off or something like that. Whatever it was, I bought all 3, so I've got all 3 to watch. I'm just waiting for the opportunity to sit down and sort of do them in a solid block. I have watched that first one, and it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's just one of those. You know how people joke about horror movies where it's that people sort of say, you know. Don't be stupid, don't go in the basement, don't do this, don't do that. This is full of cases where it's like, you know, we've got a gun, we've got the keys to the truck's there, no one else is around, so let's not go. And I found that sort of preposterous, which it drove me up the wall. The next one is one that I watched ages ago, and I don't know why I don't have a copy of it anymore, because I actually really dig it. It's The Girl with All the Gifts. Pretty decent zombie movie that's got, like, you know, Paddy Considine, Gemma Arterton. It's got Glenn Close in it. I think it's a great movie. I recently picked up the book as well, so I'm going to give that a bit of a flip through. M.R. Carey is who wrote it. It says it right there. I thought this was a pretty good movie. I thought that the cast was solid. I really, really liked Gemma Arterton. I liked her in Centrinians. I liked her in... she was in one of the... she played Strawberry Fields in maybe A Quantum of Solace, I think. But yeah, like I like her as an actor, and so she actually gets something to do in this a little bit more than just sort of be like a a bitchy sort of piece of set dressing. Yeah, so this one. And my last VHS is another one, another VHS, my last DVD is another one that I'm replacing because I don't know what happened to it. Idle Hands. $2, $3. So I bought a couple of books and a couple of DVDs at the same time. Weirdly, I had every single Paranormal Activity except for #1. So I grabbed that, and this was amongst it. But whoever owned this obviously liked their horror, but they had this need to date stuff. Unless it was... Oh no. Oh no, maybe I've picked up an evil DVD. No, I've watched it, it's fine. Great movie. Devon Sawa. What happened to Devon Sawa? Like, he's done like a few things. He was in that Fanatic, I think, with John Travolta, where John Travolta played like the autistic fan of the action hero. I feel like he was better than that. Anyway, but yeah, so that's the DVDs that were purchased. So we'll start going through those. Some of those will probably end up being reviewed. I mean, Girl with All the Gifts should already be on the digital Retribution website. Butchers I'll probably do. I might just do a month of Butchery. And I don't know if I've done Idle Hands. I feel like I should have. So yeah. So we'll look into that, I think. So next is a pile of Arrow Video ones. Now I should point out that two companies that really got me, that were external to Australia, that really got me into collecting movies. So Umbrella in Australia really kicked it off, and Siren Entertainment really got me really pumped for Australian releases of films. But Shameless Screen Entertainment, which had those yellow spines and they sort of stuck out like dog's paws, and there was a shit release of Cannibal Holocaust, and also Arrow Video. Arrow did these amazing releases on Blu-ray that had like this window box, and you could, depending on how you sat, I don't think I've got one here, but depending on how you sat the Blu-ray into the white slipcase, you could pick what movie cover you wanted on it, because they were front and back and inside and out. So there'd be like their own art, and then there would be a classic piece of art, and then whatever art. So there was like a real nice mix of art in there. They don't do that anymore, but they're still releasing cracking movies. These were all purchased from a guy off eBay called Metal Movies. Super, like, I order something from him on a Friday and I've got it by Tuesday, and he lives rurally and I live rurally in New South Wales, and for some reason it goes via Sydney as well, but for some reason they must decide that I'm desperate for my horror fix, which is really good of them. So I've got a stack of films that I purchased off him. So we'll start off with Black Rainbow, one I've never seen. It's got Mike Hodges in it. I don't even know what it's about. Rosanna Arquette, Jason Robards, Tom Hulce from Amadeus. I like this cover. It was an Arrow horror, and I just sort of thought, you know what, I'm prepared to give it a go because I liked the cast. Sorry, Mike Hodges is the director and writer of this. So I've not seen that before. That is a new thing for me. Deadly Games. Pretty cool slipcase. For no reason, it's the exact same art, although that back art is pretty cracking. This has got Steve Railsback in it, who played Charles Manson in the TV series Helter Skelter in the 70s. I've watched this and struggled with it. Maybe I wasn't in the mood or something, but I found it to be a little bit flaccid. It was fine. You know, I don't care about this either way. Maybe after I've looked at some of the extras and really absorbed the film, I might feel different about it. But at the moment, I'm sort of a little bit about it. The next one, is one of the Arrow collector sets that they do for Deep Blue Sea. Love this movie when it came out. Love me a shark film. How does this come out again? That's right. So it's a slip in a box with a disc and a book and some other shit. So in here we've got a poster. So it has the original movie poster on one side and their one on the other side. That artwork is fucking awesome. Then it comes with a little booklet, which is done to look like an Aquatica research folder, and it's got like storyboards and stuff like that. Pretty cool. And then so obviously the art on this is different to the art on that, which I think is pretty cool. I do love this art too. I love the sort of it's almost like the reverse Jaws thing. You know, we've got the girl swimming up and the shark across the top. I do really dig that movie. It's got one of the best jump scares ever in the history of horror, I reckon. And even though I did watch this the other day, effects have not held up, but the cast is such an oddball cast. I think Michael Rappaport's in it. But Jacqueline McKenzie, like, what happened to Jacqueline McKenzie? Like, Jacqueline McKenzie was amazing in things like Romper Stomper and stuff like that, and then she just sort of dried up. I don't know. What happens to actors? Do they just... Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. So the next one is a version of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, starring everybody's favourite psycho, Mr. Anthony Perkins. Yeah, this is essentially just Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Interestingly, when I was a kid, I had a copy of maybe Horror Hound or something like that, and it had a poster for this film in it, and it had a very similar image to it like this. And I'm an okay artist. I'm a average at best artist, and I did probably the best portrait I've ever done of somebody, and it was of Anthony Perkins in the Jekyll and Hyde role. Yeah, it's I like Anthony Perkins. I'm sort of a little bit high off the end of watching all of the. I've got that massive collection of Psycho 2, 3, and 4. Which I'm hoping to do a review of, but there's just so many extras on there. Like, I've reviewed the films, the fucking extras, mate. Oh my god, extras. There's extras on extras. There is extras for extras, because they're not only just sort of looking at the film now, they're actually doing like a retrospective as well. So they're talking to some actors now, and then looking at an interview that was done with them for whatever Hodgepodge TV way back when. I'm on a Perkins kick. If I could get a copy of The Black Hole, I would probably give up on my my Disney hatred at the moment, because I'd really like to watch that again. If I remember correctly, Perkins is in that. The next is a film that I'd never seen before I got this. I'd seen The Exorcist, I'd seen Exorcist Believer, I'd seen Exorcist The Beginning, I'd seen Exorcist 3. I'd never seen Exorcist 2 The Heretic. Why the fuck don't people like this film? I loved it. I thought this was a cracker of a film. And again, nice artwork, you know. There's some weird shit in here, but you know what? The Bible's full of weird shit, you know, like there's weird shit in lots of sort of texts that are thought of as classical texts that are, but yeah, I mean, this has got some weird stuff in it. Another slipcase. Again, don't know why you'd bother doing a slipcase if you're just going to do the same art. Would have liked to have seen something else on the back, but because it's literally just the same shit. But yeah, I loved this fucking movie. Like, this has made me going back, and I'm going to do like I've got Exorcist in 4K, and I've got Exorcist Believers in 4K, and I've got the 2 Arrow Exorcist 2 and 3s. I need a copy of was it called Beginning or Origins? Whatever that was called. I need that, and I think that's only had a DVD release, so I'm going to have to track down a copy of that. Exorcist 2 The Heretic. Fucking in love with this. I can't believe that I've never seen that. Next is one that I had never, ever seen before. Hell High, a slasher from 1989, if I remember correctly. Something like that. But yeah, do you know how some of the slashers in the 70s, they did this thing where they thought tough guys were like 50s leather dudes, even though it was like 1989 and that's not what tough guys wore anymore. This is one of those sorts of things. Some kids hassle a lady. So these are kids. They hassle a teacher and are doing some horrible stuff to her. and she freaks the fuck out. And it is a bizarre little film that I really, really dug. I'd watched something else, which I'll talk about in a minute, and I was like, oh god, no wonder some of these slashers just disappeared in the 80s, and I don't know why this did. I think if this was 89, it probably came at the end of the slasher run, and so there was like no fuel left in the tank for slashers, and so it just sort of got flushed down the toilet. But yeah, man, I dug this. Like, if you can get a copy of that, grab it. It's really cool. Next is a French film from 1966 called Incubus. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it was the one that had is it John Cassavetes in it? I can't remember who's in it. I think it's John Cassavetes, but I thought it was the one from the maybe late 70s, early 80s that has the somebody in town is you know, having their way with women and really injuring them quite severely. But this isn't. This is a black and white film starring the Shat. And yeah, nice cover, similar thing. Why would you do a slipcase if you're not going to do different art on the back? I got this because it's Shatner. I put it on the other night and it was like a sleeping pill. I was out cold within minutes of starting it. But the real funny thing about it is that, like, you've got all of these people who are, you know, these French actors who are projecting their beautiful French accents, and then you've got like Shatner doing Shatner in French. It's like, I don't know much French, but like he's like, voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? It's like all very dramatic and Star Trek. A revisit. It's yeah. Got it because I could. Do I need it? Probably not. So this one, if I remember correctly, this is another one that's in a slipcase for no real reason. If I remember correctly, this is a Spanish film, or Uruguayan or something like that. The Last Matinee. It's by Maxi Contenti, who I don't know. That's a hole in my horror knowledge. Got it because it was a slasher from the 80s or something like that, and put it on thinking I'll just be able to casually put it on and watch it while I'm doing whatever. And then when I realised that it was predominantly in Spanish, I thought, do you know what? I don't know if I've got the concentration span right now to do that. You know how sometimes you just can't watch an international film because, like, the ease of reading as well as absorbing the tale as well is quite difficult. I'll revisit it. It's an interesting cover. It's Arrow, and I love Arrow. I love you, Arrow. So next is Madhouse. Yeah. I don't quite know what to say about this. This is one of those ones that I liked the idea of more than the execution, I think. It felt off. It felt like, do you know how Edward got the Mormons to help him make a film, and so everybody had to be baptized, and then they started sort of exerting their influence over the film. This felt like it was somebody who had never seen a horror film before was making a horror film. Yeah, I don't know. It's also known as There Was a Little Girl. Yeah, it just sort of sat weird with me. I don't know why. And it was weird because I just watched The Visitor, which I had not yet watched, and so I was on a bit of an acinitis kick, and so I thought, yeah, okay, I didn't mind The Visitor. It was bizarre, and then I got this, and it's bizarre. Yeah, I think that's a completionist, a slasher completionist only. It felt like I was watching, like, you know how if you grew up in the 80s, they used to do club mixes where they'd get like 5 songs and mix them together and call them a mega mix. This felt like a mega mix of one-shot slashers like The Burning and stuff like that. Next is another one that I can't tell you anything about because I haven't even taken it out of the plastic. Pandemonium. Again, I was whoring myself. Put it this way: a film by Quarks. So straight away I'm like, I need to watch a film by Quarks, and it just looked good. I just like this. I haven't even taken it out of the plastic yet, so I can't even show you the I can't even show you what the, and I don't have anything to. My fingernails aren't long enough because I bite my nails. But yeah, so yeah, Pandemonium. It's got Hugo Dillon. Quarks apparently did a film called All the Gods in the Sky. Blend of fantasy, drama, genre, and humor. Which is weird because I thought fantasy, drama, and humor are already genres. So is there a genre? Is there like genre? Maybe Quarks has come up with genre squared. Whatever. Interesting looking title. Interesting looking cover. Thought I'd give it a bash. Next, in my quest to try and get everything by George Romero, they had the good guys at Metal Movies, or girls, I don't know, or whatever they are. Season of the Witch by Romero. So grabbed a copy of this. Pretty stoked. 1972, I think. Yeah. So I still need. I don't have Martin. I've got the amusement park. I've got this. I think I've got this something about vanilla. Is that what's called? There's something about vanilla, whatever it is. I think I've got most of his stuff, like of his early stuff. I don't think I have the second Dead trilogy except for Land of the Dead. So I don't think I've got Diary or Survival. But yeah, I like Romero's direction, so I thought I would give this a bit of a bash. And finally, I watched this as a double feature with Deep Blue Sea the other day, and you know, if you're going to go underwater, you should also go underground. The classic, right? Who needs fucking Dune sandworms when you've got these sons of bitches? Yeah, like this was an amazing film for me because like Kevin Dillon's Kevin Dillon, Fred Ward is Fred Ward, you know, like he's like from Reno Unarmed and Dangerous and stuff like that. But seeing somebody like Stephen Gross, who was the dad in Family Ties, to see him do something where he acted like a crazy sort of gun nut doomsday prepper dude was hilarious. And to team him up with, of all people, country singer Reba McEntire was such a stunningly bizarre thing to do that, like, how could you not love it? I'd forgotten how much I liked this, so I immediately went and bought Tremors 2, which is in the mail now, so it'll be in next month's hopefully not double video of movie hauls. But yeah, if you haven't seen Tremors, you need to see Tremors. It is brilliant. If you love Tremors, and as a board game guy as well, there is a game, and I wish I could remember the name of it now. But there is Terror Below. Terror Below is a board game where you're basically, it is like they created a game, went to the people who own Tremors and said, can we use your license? And they said, no, fuck you, because it is Tremors as a board game, and it's a great board game, a lot of fun. But yeah, Tremors, get on it. If you haven't seen it, it's amazing. Stephen Gross as a weird doomsday prepper, fantastic. Okay, so I have rabbited on long enough. That is the first part of the DVD and Blu-ray hits for last month. So I'll do another one next week, which will have the rest, and then I've still got some book purchases that you can see sort of here. These are all of the books that I bought last month, and we'll get on to that. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to the video. Please hit the bell so you get a warning when next time you go to YouTube, you'll see my face again. Don't forget to go to www.digitalretribution.com to check out my over 400 movie reviews, comic reviews, game reviews, all sorts of stuff. There's a podcast, Digital Retribution, available on Spotify. Follow us on X, where we are DigRetAus, AUS, DIGRETAUS, and also we're on Instagram, Digital Retribution Oz, OZ. Thank you so much for watching. I have enjoyed having your company, because as you can see, I'm all alone in the horror room, in the Slaughtered Lamb, which is what my office is called, the Slaughtered Lamb, because I've got a pub sign up there that says the Slaughtered Lamb on it. I promise next time that I will dust the top of my mic. I didn't realise how bad that was. and it's been annoying me through this entire video. It's probably the first video where I've looked at the camera predominantly because I couldn't stand to look at myself as I normally would because of all of that. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. I will see you on the next video. Bye, y'all.